English and German are the two most spoken Germanic languages, being both descended from Proto Germanic, the language spoken by the Germanic tribes around 2,000 years ago. The Germanic languages are obviously quite similar to each other. In this video, we will compare the consonant correspondences between English and German. We will go through each phoneme in Proto Germanic and see how it developed in English and German respectively. The plosives or stops will go first. Proto Germanic had a p sound. In English, the phoneme remained largely unchanged. I should mention though that both modern English and German usually aspirated p, t, k in word initial position. If you put your hand in front of your mouth when pronouncing a word like pit, you should feel a puff of air. That's aspiration. German is much more complicated as it went through the High German consonant shift, a very interesting shift that started in the south and really turned certain Germanic varieties into German or Deutsch. Between vowels and in word final positions, the p became an f, while in other positions the p became an affricate pf, though even this pf was sometimes simplified to an f in some words. Thus compare sleep and schlafen, or originally germinated apple and Apfel. If you are wondering how modern standard German still has a p sound, well, loanwords from other languages, but yeah, p is rare. Next, t. English again largely kept the phoneme the same, except for modern tendency to aspirate it in some positions, of course, or some varieties recently flapping the t between vowels, such as in the word atom, or even turning it into a glottal stop, as in button. German again went through the High German consonant shift. Same story, intervocalic and word final t become the fricative s, while in other positions it became the affricate ts. So compare out and aus, or two and zwei. As for how modern German still has a t sound, you'll see in a bit. Next, k. During the Old English period, English palatalized k into a ch next to front vowels, so compare cheese and Käse. With German again, in intervocalic and word final positions, k became a fricative ch, yet the shift of k to an affricate kh in other positions never fully spread to most German dialects. Thus standard German still has a k sound. Compare make and machen, and if you like, English kid, standard German Kind, and Southern Bavarian, a German dialect, Kind. On to b, both English and German largely went through the phoneme unchanged. The High German consonant shift did devoice b to p, which did make its way into some words in standard German, so compare rib and rippe, but generally pretty much all b's stayed b's. While the origin of the word pizza is unknown, one hypothesis is that it is derived from the Lombards, a southern Germanic tribe that invaded Italy. The Lombards would have shifted b to p as they were from the south. The word would be cognate with English bite and German bissen, which can also mean snack. The phoneme b did have a fricative allophone between vowels, bilabial v, like v but pronounced with both lips. In English, the v became a typical v, or in word final position, an f, while in German it fortified into a b, so compare 7 and sieben, or life and Leben. D stayed essentially the same in English, while it devoiced in the High German consonant shift to t. Unlike the shift from b to p, this shift did spread far and wide and is present in standard German. English d usually corresponds to German t, so compare door and t. As for how German still has a d sound, you will see in a bit. The fricative allophone of d, a voiced th, the, fortified to d early on in West Germanic varieties, so English has d for this allophone, while German again devoiced it to a t, so compare English good, German gut, and Icelandic, a North Germanic language, göður. Interestingly, this means some Proto-European t's became a t again in German. For example, the word for mother had a t in Proto-Indo-European, which became a voiceless th due to Grimm's law, voiced the due to Werner's law, fortified to d in West Germanic, and finally lost its voicing to a t in German to become Mutter. It went full circle. English went through a shift where der became there, so that's why it's mother and not mother. The next phoneme is g, and it's a complicated story with this phoneme. Ga was probably actually ra, It's theorized pretty much all gs were actually a fricative ra, similar to the modern uvular ra in modern German and Proto Germanic. In English, the fricative palatalized to ya near front vowels, then the remaining ra either fortified to a g or were eventually elided, and near front vowels, g palatalized to j, such as in bridge. In German, ra simply fortified to a g, so you can compare day and Tag, where the ra became a ya in English, rain and Regen, where the fricative was lost in English, or English God, German Gott, and Dutch God, where the ra became g in both English and German, but ra remained a fricative in Dutch and may lose its voicing in many dialects to God. But shouldn't bridge have a g in German? Why is it Brücke? Because of the High German consonant shift, which did devoice g to k in some words in Standard German. Generally speaking, both modern English and modern German in most varieties tend to aspirate voiceless p to k, and possibly even devoice b da g in many positions. Thus, the difference between p to k and b da g has more and more to do with aspiration rather than voicing. Onto the final two plosives, the palatalized qua and gua or roi. Qua essentially went through the same changes ka went through, or became the sequence qua in word initial position, while roi generally merged with wa. Finally, onto the fricatives. Fa was probably still bilabial in Proto-Germanic, as it had recently been a p before Grimm's law. It of course becomes an f, both in English and German. Old English did voice the fricatives between vowels, so the v from b and fa merge into one phoneme. Later on in English, fa and va do become distinct phonemes. Some dialects of Middle High German did originally voice initial fa into a v, and this affected spelling did catch on, but the pronunciation trend didn't, and modern Standard German has an f for the letter v in most cases. Compare for and fear, or father and Vater. Onto the voiceless th in Proto-Germanic. It stayed a th in Old English, having a voiced allophone. Eventually, these became distinct phonemes in English, so the th sound is actually two sounds. Voiceless th as in think, and voiced the as in the. German turned th into a d through a voiced the as an intermediate stage, so compare that and das, thorn and dawn, or the, and all of these, I guess. God, German is hard. As for how modern German still has a th sound, well, it doesn't. Out of the main Germanic languages, English and Icelandic are the only ones that retained th. The fact that they're spoken in islands probably helped them in that case. On to ch. Both English and German early on turned it into a h in initial position. Thus, ra, la, na, and wa, preceded by a ch, become preceded by a h, or voiceless ra, la, na, and wa. All became a typical ra, la, na, and wa early on, except for English voiceless hua, as you will see. Apart from initial position, ch stayed a ch at first, and was spelled in English with a gh. Both German and English developed a front allophone sh at some point near front vowels. In German, this is called ich-laut and ach-laut. However, English eventually elided this gh in essentially all positions, when the spelling was already standardized. In some words, however, ch became a f, because of course it did. German retained ch and its allophone sh near front vowels. Compare night and nacht, or laugh and lachen. Some contemporary German dialects might turn the front allophone sh into a sibilant, something like sh, so ich can sound like the sh in English. Proto-Germanic also had the phoneme hua, which became hua in both languages. German quickly merged this phoneme with typical wa, while English only very recently merged hua and wa in most varieties. Some English speakers, such as in Scotland, Ireland, or older Americans, might still have whine and wine distinct. Onto sa. Sa was probably retracted a bit to sound something in between a sa and a sh in Proto-Germanic. Both English and German voiced the sa into a z in some positions, with German generally having done it more often, so compare seven and sieben. Both English and German also turned ska into a sh, so compare English and German fish to Scandinavian fisk. German also turned an S into a sh before a consonant, still sometimes spelled with an S. Compare stone with Stein. English eventually turned sia and zia into sh and zh, as in shore or vision. So English has a zh sound, while German doesn't. Onto z. In all West Germanic varieties, it quickly became a ra in a process called rhoticism. This also happened in Russo Germanic, yet later on, but this is why we have is or ist and war or va. If you missed it, both English and German regained a new z from voicing s in certain positions. Onto the Sonorants, Proto-Germanic ma and na essentially stayed the same in English and German. Early on, before Old English, Ingvaeonic West Germanic varieties deleted na before a voiceless fricative. This is called the Ingvaeonic nasal sperent law, so compare us and uns, or mouth and mund. Relatively recently, English also reduced kna and gna into na, still spelled with a k and g, so compare ni and kni. Proto-Germanic had the velar nya as an allophone, which technically became phonemic in both English and German, as nya followed by g coalesced into nya. Proto-Germanic also had noa as an allophone of na, which simply merged into na. Proto-Germanic ya stayed basically the same in both English and German, except that in many German dialects it can fortify a bit into more of a fricative. This can carry into Standard German. Proto-Germanic wa eventually became va in German, and is still spelled with a w, while English is essentially the only main Germanic language to retain wa as wa, so compare water and Wasser. Proto-Germanic alveolar ra eventually became an approximate ra in English, and possibly due to French influence, a uvular ra in Standard German. Non-rhoticity, the recent phenomenon in Germanic languages where r is deleted after a vowel, occurs in some modern English and German varieties. It occurs in British English and Standard German, but not in American English or Yiddish, for example. So both British English and Standard German drop the R in water or Wasser, while American speakers do pronounce the R. Finally, L can become dark or more velar in most English varieties, while it stayed largely the same, light L, in Standard German. That's the general story of the development of English and German consonants. Hope you found this video interesting or useful.